I'm back again. We've got a lot to cover in this video because it goes back about 2 months, but like I say, I'm a busy girl. So this one starts at Max's birthday and we just headed down to Broadwater Parklands, had a nice chill day, a few cocktails, got some bakery bits and kind of lay on the Parklands. There's a little bit of a beachy area, so we went there for a little while. Then we headed back to our flat and hosted a big party with all our friends. So Molly and Liam, who are friends from Australia but actually live in Cheltenham, which is very close to me at home, and then Jacob, our friend from uni, and also Adam, another friend out here, came round and we had a big party. We all got a bit drunky monkey, but it was fun. It was nice to have a night all together. Then me and the girls went to Janice Bakery, which, oh my gosh, it's so good. Definitely go there if you ever come to the Gold Coast. This is the boys being a bit silly. They got zoomies. And then we went to a pub called The Last Night on Earth, which is kind of a local one to where we live. And it was nice. It felt like proper English pub garden vibes, so that was good. Obviously, all these videos are like spread out across weeks, but they're all just jammed into this video. But then me and Louis headed off to Byron Bay, which is kind of south of us on the Gold Coast. And it feels like a proper like seaside town, which was really lovely. So this is the surf house where Louis stayed with Luke, and I'm actually heading there in a few days with Sophie. It's like a hostel, so I'm excited for that. But we stayed in a little bell tent when we were there, which I will show you later on. And then that's the tree just in the background where Louis used to go and call me, bless him, when he was in Australia and I was back at home. And then we went for breakfast because at this point we were kind of waiting for our kayak tour. This is really, really lovely. And there's a little crab. I don't know if you can see it, but it was so cute. So then we headed to kayaking. It decided to pour down with rain at this point, but who cares? We're getting wet anyway. And this is us looking silly in our wetsuits. So this was one of the groups heading out, and honestly, me and Louis aced it. Everybody like capsized when we were trying to get out there, but we just sailed on through. And this was amazing. So we basically were in this big group and we just got to go and see all the dolphins, and they were literally swimming between the boats the whole time. Obviously, it's probably much more amazing in person. The videos don't really capture it. And yeah, I feel like obviously you're trying to enjoy it in person, so you don't really like look at what you're filming, but it was incredible. I definitely recommend doing this if you go to Byron Bay. Sorry, the camera kind of focuses on the water protection thing, but yeah, you can just see them in the distance there. And we did even get to see the very end of a whale's tail splashing up in the distance, which I'm determined to get a better view of the whales. So me and Louis have booked a whale tour, which will hopefully be in the next video. There you go, you can see them a bit better there. This was honestly such an amazing experience. I loved it. It was so cool. Then this was our bell tent in the campsite nearby. It was so cute, so cozy, and yeah, just really nice. And this was the outside, so there was about 5 or 6 of them just in a row, and then it had a little outdoor seating area. Unfortunately, we couldn't really make the most of it again because we got back from kayaking, did a quick change, and then went back out. And then we had to check out at 10 in the morning, so we'll definitely do that again when we've got some more time. And we went for dinner, which was super yummy. The taxi drivers were so nice and so helpful when they were like, oh, it's your first time, I definitely recommend going here. And he was like, guys, you have to try this place for dinner. So we went and it was super delicious. And then we went to this bar. Didn't realise there was a drag show going on, but that was all fun and games. Quite funny actually, and everyone was having a good time there. And then we found this big bar just by the beach and had some delicious rum sangria, which I've never heard of, but wow, it was so good. Then we went to the famous piano bar, where it's basically these two, well, it like changes every night between the different players, but it's like a piano off, I guess, and they kind of go off of each other, and you can put recommendations in for songs, and it was incredible. Honestly, such a good night. Then we went for a yummy breakfast, and so obviously a huge spider. Oh my gosh, I should have done a trigger. I'll put it in the caption. And then we went for a long walk. We were very hungover and it was raining on this day, so we felt a bit fragile, but we made it. So this is just where we were kayaking the day before. You can see in the distance there the people on the kayaks. Didn't manage to see any dolphins up there, which was a shame, but lovely view. Then fast forward to being back home, went to the gym with the boys. I am not very good at keeping to the gym, but the boys have been going every day, so kudos to them. Then we went on a work night out with Sandbar girlies and Zach and one of the girls' boyfriends DJs at the bars, I think, so he managed to get us in like all the VIP booths, which was pretty fun. So this was us just being silly, but such a lovely night. Really good to like socialise with the girls outside of work, where we obviously get told off for chatting at the bar and stuff, but yeah, good fun. We had a big boogie. Me and Courtney actually ended up staying out till 4 a.m, which was interesting. Oh, and Emma, obviously. And then we went to this bar, and it was, yeah, interesting. I think we were pretty drunk at this point. Then we jumped into the ball pit. How embarrassing. But why not? And then we fast forward to Girls' Day, where we were meant to go to Brisbane for the day, but then all the trains were just delayed, and we were like, let's just go to Helens Vale. So we had a nice little brunch and a wander around the shops. Then we're on another night out by the looks of it, and Liam's doing some karaoke. I think we all ended up karaokeing this night. Actually, no, this was me and Liam night out, and we were singing atrociously. So we started off on the beach, just watching the sunset, and then of course we found happy hour, 2-for-1 cocktails, and got very drunk again. In my mind, we never go out, but it seems like we do every day on this video. So that was funny. I should probably try and cut this video. Hold on. The next day, I was actually not hungover, so me and Louis walked to the spit, and there was this really cute retriever that had tiny legs. It was so adorable. So the spit is just like an area just off of Main Beach, and we walked through like a track to get there, which was kind of nice, like away from the streets and the roads and the hustle and bustle. So that was a lovely day. It was so windy this day though, like we were being pelted by sand, like to the point where it actually hurt, but it was still nice to get some fresh air. And then later in this video we actually go back for surf lessons, because it's just like a really nice like alcove, and it's not like busy with tourists or anything, so that was nice. Like you can see how windy it is here, like my hair's just going crazy. I definitely should have bought a hairband. And you could see all the rainbows in the waves that were coming in. It's just a really peaceful, lovely place. And we ended up having a smoked salmon toastie. It's so good. Then we're on our way to support the girls and Zach doing their half marathon, and I saw this dog in the back of a truck, and I was so worried for it. Like every time it turned the corner, it looked like the dog was going to fall out. But then since then I've seen so many dogs in the back of a truck. I guess it's just a thing around here. And here's Sophie coming up in just a second. There she goes. They absolutely smashed this, considering, well, Sophie and Zach have done a half marathon before, but this is Ella's first time. She absolutely killed it. She didn't even look like she was worn out. And then we went for breakfast after, but they did so good. They did it in the time that they wanted, and me, Max and Louis went and like saw them at like 2 different spots, and they looked absolutely fine. They weren't struggling at all, even though they're probably dying inside, but they smashed it. Then we had girls' night while the boys were in Brisbane, and this was really lovely. We went to a fancy bar, which we didn't know existed, like out the back of our usual bar. And then we had curry for breakfast. Well, me and Sophie did. It was a bit rogue, but don't judge us. We just fancied it, and it was nice. Then we went to our surf lesson, which was really good. The guy was called Andy, and it was just like a little private lesson for us guys, which was so cool. And he was so helpful, and everyone ended up standing up except me, but I blame it on the knees. Then we had Christmas dinner at ours, which apparently was a thing called Christmas in July, except apparently nobody else celebrated it except us. But it was nice. We had a roast dinner and just had a games night. And then we went to a kangaroo and koala park, and we saw so many kangaroos. And this is a baby kangaroo in the mummy's pouch. And then one of my friends from Sandbar was dog sitting for the week, so she invited me for a walk with him. His name was Oscar and he was adorable, and it was just so nice to be able to cuddle a dog again. I'm really missing Barney at the moment. We then went to Molly and Liam's house for a little housewarming, but I forgot to video it, and went for Burger King after. And then me and the girls went to a Reformer Pilates class, which was good fun but hard work. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.